Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and we are on day 20. Woof! I'm so glad you're here and I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we're going to be reading out of Genesis 22 and then we'll read out of Nehemiah 12, but only verses 27 through 47. And then we'll be reading out of Luke 10, only verses 1 through 24, and we'll close it out with Psalm 17, verses 6 through 15. So, welcome to day 20. Let's go. Genesis chapter 22. After these things, God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. He said, Here I am. He said, Now take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go into the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains which I will tell you of. Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son. He split the wood for the burnt offering and rose up and went to the place of which God had told him. On the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place far off. Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there. We will worship and come back to you. Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son. He took in his hand the fire and the knife. They both went together. Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said, My father? He said, Here I am, my son. He said, Here is the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son. So they both went together. They came to a place which God had told him of. Abraham built the altar there and laid the wood in order, bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar on the wood. Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to kill his son. Yahweh's angel called to him out of the sky and said, Abraham, Abraham. He said, Here I am. He said, Don't lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and saw that behind him was a ram caught in a thicket by the horns. Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering instead of his son. Abraham called the name of that place, Yahweh will provide. As it is said to this day, on Yahweh's mountain, it will be provided. Yahweh's angel called to Abraham a second time out of the sky and said, I have sworn by myself, says Yahweh, because you have done this thing and have not withheld your son, your only son, that I will bless you greatly, and I will multiply your offspring greatly, like the stars of the heavens, and like the sand which is on the seashore. Your offspring will possess the gate of his enemies. All the nations of the earth will be blessed by your offspring, because you have obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba. Abraham lived at Beersheba. After these things, Abraham was told, Behold, Milcah, she also has borne children to your brother Nahor. Uz, his firstborn, Buz, his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram, Chesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. His concubine, whose name was Reumah, also bore Tebah, Gaham, Tahash, and Mecca. I've heard so many different opinions of this story. The one that is most prevalent is, how could God take a child and set him on an altar and have Abraham offer him up as a sacrifice? What kind of God is that? And that was not the point. God wanted to see if Abraham would actually do it. That is the point. So the ending of the story could have been Abraham didn't listen to God, or the end of the story could have been as is, that he did, that he stepped out as much as his heart was killing him. You know, we forget he's probably looking into his son's eyes as his son is laying on the wood. And Abraham continues in that faith, knowing that God will provide, knowing that this cannot possibly be the ending. And sure enough, that is the point of the story. Okay, Nehemiah, where are we going here? Nehemiah 12, 27 through 47. At the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of all their places to bring them to Jerusalem, to keep the dedication with gladness, both with giving thanks and with singing, with cymbals, stringed instruments, and with harps. The sons of the singers gathered themselves together, both cut out the plain around Jerusalem and from the villages of the Netophathites, also from Beth Gilgal, and out of the fields of Geba and Asmaveth, for the singers had built themselves villages around Jerusalem. The priests and the Levites purified themselves, and they purified the people, the gates, and the wall. Then I brought the princes of Judah up on the wall and appointed 2 great companies who gave thanks and went in procession. One went on the right hand on the wall toward the dung gate, and after them went Hushiah with half of the princes of Judah, and Azariah, Ezra, and Meshullam, Judah, Benjamin, Shemaiah, Jeremiah, and some of the priest's sons with trumpets. Zechariah, the son of Jonathan, the son of Shemaiah, the son of Mattaniah, the sons of Micaiah, the son of Zakur, the son of Asaph, and his brothers, Shemaiah, Azarel, Melalai, Gilalai, Mai, Nethanel, Judah, and Hanani, with the musical instruments of David, the man of God, and Ezra the scribe was before them. By the spring gate, and straight before them, they went up by the stairs of David's city at the ascent of the wall, above David's house, even to the water gate eastward. The other company of those who gave thanks went to meet them, and I after them, with the half of the people on the wall, above the tower of the furnaces, even to the wide wall, and above the gate of Ephraim, and by the old gate, and by the fish gate, the tower of Hananel, and the tower of Hamiah, even to the sheep gate, and they stood still in the gate of the guard. So the 2 companies of those who gave thanks in God's house stood, and I and the half of the rulers with me, and the priests Eliakim, Messiah, Miniamin, Micaiah, Elionai, Zechariah, and Hananiah with trumpets, and Messiah, Shemaiah, Eleazar, Uzi, Jehonanan, Melechiah, Elam, and Ezer. The singers sang loud with Jezreiah, their overseer. They offered great sacrifices that day and rejoiced, for God had made them rejoice with great joy, and the women and the children also rejoiced, so that the joy of Jerusalem was heard even far away. On that day, men were appointed over the rooms for the treasures, for the wave offerings, for the first fruits, and for the tithes, to gather into them, according to the fields of the cities, the portions appointed by the law for the priests and Levites. For Judah rejoiced for the priests and for the Levites who served. They performed the duty of their God and the duty of the purification, and so did the singers and the gatekeepers, according to the commandment of David and Solomon his son. For in the days of David and Asaph of old, there was a chief of the singers, and songs of praise and thanksgiving to God. All Israel in the day of Zerubbabel and in the days of Nehemiah gave the portions of the singers and the gatekeepers as every day required, and they set apart that which was for the Levites, and the Levites set apart that which was for the sons of Aaron. Lots and lots of rejoicing in the law. Let's move on to Luke chapter 10, verse 1 through 24, because Jesus came for the new covenant. Now after these things, the Lord also appointed 20 others, and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of him into every city and place where he was about to come. Then he said to them, "The harvest is indeed plentiful, but the laborers are few. Pray therefore to the Lord of the harvest, that he may send out laborers into his harvest. Go your ways. Behold, I send you out as lambs among wolves. Carry no purse, nor wallet, nor sandals. Greet no one on the way. Into whatever house you enter, first say, 'Peace be to this house.' If a son of peace is there, your peace will rest on him, but if not, it will return to you. Remain in that same house, eating and drinking the things that they give, for the laborer is worthy of his wages. Don't go from house to house. Into whatever city you enter, and they receive you, eat the things that are set before you. Heal the sick who are there, and tell them, God's kingdom has come near to you. But into whatever city you enter, and they don't receive you, go out into its city streets and say, 'Even the dust from your city that clings to us, we wipe off against you.' Nevertheless, know this, that God's kingdom has come near to you. I tell you, it will be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works had been done in Tyre and Sidon, which were done in you, they would have repented long ago, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it will be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon in the judgment than for you. You, Capernaum, who are exalted to heaven, will be brought down to Hades. Whoever listens to you listens to me, and whoever rejects you rejects me. Whoever rejects me rejects him who sent me." The 70 returned with joy, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. He said to them, I saw Satan have fallen like lightning from heaven. Behold, I give you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing in any way will hurt you. Nevertheless, don't rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. In that same hour, Jesus rejoiced in the Holy Spirit and said, I thank you, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that you have hidden these things from the wise and understanding and revealed them to little children. Yes, Father, for so it was well-pleasing in your sight. Turning to the disciples, he said, All things have been delivered to me by my Father. No one knows who the Son is except the Father, and who the Father is except the Son, and he to whomever the Son desires to reveal him. Turning to the disciples, he said privately, Blessed are the eyes which see the things that you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings desired to see the things which you see, and didn't see them, and to hear the things which you hear, and didn't hear them. Whew. Now we'll just move on to Psalm 17. Verses 6 through 15. Oh, he wants us. He wants us to hear, and he wants us to see truth. But some just don't see. So this is Psalm 17, 6 through 15. And this again was a prayer by David. We continue on from yesterday. I have called on you, for you will answer me, God. Turn your ear to me. Hear my speech. Show your marvelous loving kindness, you who save those who take refuge by your right hand from their enemies. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me under the shadow of your wings from the wicked who oppress me, my deadly enemies who surround me. They close up their callous hearts. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now surrounded us in our steps. They set their eyes to cast us down to the earth. He is like a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, Yahweh, confront him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked by your sword, from men by your hand, Yahweh, from men of the world, whose portion is in this life. You fill the belly of your cherished ones. Your sons have plenty, and they store up wealth for their children. As for me, I shall see your face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I am awake and seeing your form. Oh, that was a good day, folks. That was a really good day. I hope you have the most wonderful day today. Please remember the words that were spoken and try and live them out in real time today. Because this is a living Bible. This is not just a book of stories of the past. These are to be used for today. So love God and be in relationship with Him and love people, and everything else will fall into place. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 21. Bye.